When do things truly start to happen for you? What does that mean? When is it when what you want, your desires start to show up? And your desires start to show up when they become your new normal. What does that mean? Your new normal means that you have achieved that state as your own reality. So let us say you make a certain amount of income every month. And let's say this is not a given. Let's say you're not a employee. You are maybe in a profession, or maybe you are a business owner, or you don't have a fixed set of return. Okay. Whatever you make every month, there would be an average that you would end up making no matter what. And that average has very little to do with economics, it has very little to do with the market, but it has more to do with who you have become as a person. What does that mean? It means that your brain has set a average in your mind, and for you that average is normal. For you that average is usual. For you that average is average. Okay? And for that reason, it becomes your new normal. And since it becomes your new normal, it comes without fail. For somebody else, that might be a huge amount. Okay? For let's say anybody that you can think of right now, and you can think that, yeah, for this person, what I do every month could be pretty incredible, right? But somehow I always never go below it. And why am I able to manage that? It's because for me, that is my normal, that is my usual. So when the dreams that you want to manifest, or when the life that you want to have, you want to achieve, when that becomes your new normal, your dreams manifest. So let us say, let's go back to the example, okay? Let's say a certain market condition was not working out, or let's say somebody else was, some conditions outside of yourself were not working according to you or your benefit, but still you ended up managing at least that average, right? It didn't fall below that. Something happened, some people aligned, some more clients came, some more sales happened, but you ended up making that average amount of income. By average, I don't mean less. By average, I mean you, whatever you make in a year, divide that by 12, and that is your average. So you still ended up making that average amount of income, irrespective of the market conditions. So our brain, or let us say our being, ourself, whatever we reflect out, we receive. So when we reflect out a ridiculous amount as as our average, because we start acting from a place of that person, of your higher self, of your best self, the person who thinks that this is their normal. And when that normal starts to reflect from you, it starts to come back to you also. So when that is the reason why most people, they are not able to go as fast as they possibly can, because they have set a average in their minds, they have set a normal in their minds, which their system cannot override. So no matter how hard they work, they somehow keep ending up at that average. They somehow keep ending up back to the same situation, back to the same results, maybe in a relationship. Maybe they dated somebody in the past, maybe they dated somebody else, moved on, and still that same situation kept on coming up. It's maybe because they have set a normal in their mind of what they deserve. And that normal is not being broken, it's not being surpassed. So every time we, instead of working on ourselves, work on outside conditions, we don't see a big change, because our own self is reflecting things which are coming from our previous version. What does that mean? It means that if we do not evolve as a person, if we do not grow as a person, if we don't break our own barriers, if we don't break who we used to be and who we were, let's say 5 years ago, 10 years ago, if we don't keep on evolving on the inside, our outside will not evolve. So most of our lives, we start thinking and we analyze and we assess and we think maybe if I work harder, maybe I do this, maybe I study this, and maybe I work with these kind of people, and maybe I network with these kind of people. But your base does not change, your average does not change. And it is because we are focused on working on the outside when we need to be focused on the inside. Whatever our thermostat is, whatever, wherever we have set it, whatever temperature, wherever it is, will be our base, no matter how much we put in outside. And that can seem challenging. It is. At the same time, makes things easier because to take on the whole world and to change it according to us so that we can live the life that we want to live is a little harder than working on us. They keep on saying, right? You are the only person you can change. You can't change anybody else. So if you can't change anybody else, you can't change the world. What a blessing it would be to just change yourself and let the world reflect that back to you. So every time you take a decision, if you take a decision from the place of a person who is doing better than the old self, let's say we're taking baby steps. So if you change and if you train yourself and if you make your nervous system believe that more is safe, that wealth is safe, that abundance is safe, it will start to believe that, it will start to follow you. And over time, your sense of reality will change, your base will change, your average will change. And when you can make that change on the inside, the universe will reflect the same to you. So whenever we start thinking about the outside and we start to work on the outside, what we need to do is work on our nervous system. We need to work on our old self-limiting beliefs. We need to work on our own triggers. We need to work on things inside of us that are stopping us from reaching our highest self. And all the work, almost all the work, is internal, is internal. And when you start to work on yourself and we start to improve ourselves and we become more and more aligned with the universe, with everything outside of us, things start to become simpler. Working with people starts to become simpler. Not only that, when we start to become more aligned, answers come to us more easily, connections come to us more easily. We are able to put our questions into the universe and request answers. We are able to align with the version of ourselves which already has everything. And we are able to ask questions to what we need to do to move on to the next level. And when we keep on doing that, and we keep on working on ourselves and keep on making a connection with the world, with the higher realm, with everybody that you maybe call God, call the higher self, call anything that you want. The more you work on those relationships, more connections, the connection with yourself and the connection with the higher self or the universe, simpler things become for you. The more problem solving is taken out of your hands, and things become so much smoother and so much easier that you assume that is a reality, not just within you, but outside of you as well. So if you just keep on checking ourselves rather than the world outside, if we keep on just working on our inner system, our inner nervous system, instead of going outside, when we keep on making the connection with our intuition stronger, instead of the connection with a network of people outside, we can go into higher levels of success with much more ease, with much more fluidity. So, realizing and understanding that breaking our own barriers, internal barriers, is what is important. There are people, athletes, if you've heard from them or read about them, they'll tell you that They try to play the game in their mind first. They try to win a race in their mind first. They see themselves achieving that goal. And this is true for everyone. People who achieve things achieve them in their mind first. They believe the possibility of it happening, and at the same time, then they escalate and they go to a stage where they think that that is the only reality that can happen. Then winning is the only reality that exists. So they take themselves from a stage of where everything seems incredible, where them winning seems too far fetched from reality. It makes them feel that this is not going to happen, to a stage where they start to believe that they can participate and see what happens. Then they move on and they start to believe in a reality where they can win one day also. Then they move on to a reality which says there is no other option. It is just me. I do not see a reality in which I do not win. I do not see a reality where I am not successful. And it will be me. Not that everybody else will not get what they want. They can get it also. But there is no reality in which I do not succeed. And when they start working from that self, success has to find them because they have become that person who wins. So when you win every time in your mind, you tend to win outside in the 3D reality also. So all the change that we need to make, at least 90%, I would say, is internal, is reaching into your highest self. It is reaching into your intuition and finding out answers and finding out your blocks, which are keeping you on your back foot. Okay, keeping you a little behind. And it's okay if you have not been able to work out that for so long, okay? For however long that you feel that you have maybe been behind, it's okay. Because it's not easy to do, because our nervous system programs us into thinking that everything around us is unsafe. So even winning feels like a lack of safety. Sometimes when we plan and we set big goals, and body goes into a freeze mode and it will not allow us to act out. It will not allow us to make the next step because it assumes danger, because the situation is new for it. And every time our body will enter into a new situation, the nervous system calls it a threat and we shut it down. So that shutting down becomes so normal for us that we stop initiating, think expansive, anything that makes us bigger than what we are. And we become so afraid of anything new because as the nervous system has taken over the body, it has taken over the intuition, it has taken over everything. So now it becomes almost impossible for us to see a world in which we are winning. But the moment we start to understand these mechanics, the moment we start to understand that our nervous system is just trying to protect us, it's not trying to break us, it's not against us. Okay? We're on the same team. Just sit with yourself and say, nothing bad is happening right now. Okay? Everything is fine. I'm okay. You are okay. And move on and do what you think you should do. The more and more and more you tell your body that everything is safe, everything is fine, you will become that person or you will embody that person who is comfortable in big situations, the person who can hold their calm in big situations, let's say big meetings, big workplace settings. And when you are able to achieve that level of calm, the universe will give you more to handle. It will give you, because it does want to give you on that. The universe, God, they want to give you so much that you don't even dream of. They want to fill you up with blessings, but they want you to be able to hold it. They cannot give things that we are not worthy of holding because what they want to give to us has value. So let's say there is a relationship that you want, or let's say a friendship that you want, a love that you want, a career that you want, wealth, happiness, anything that you want. The universe wants to give all that to us. It wants to, it really does. The only time when it will just come naturally to us is when we don't panic when it comes to us, when we have the ability to hold it. If our system says every time, let's say a friendship comes, the thoughts of betrayal also comes, okay? And every time a friendship comes, trust issues start to come up. Then the friendships that are really meant for us, they will take their time coming to us because we're not ready for them, because we believe that friendships mean betrayal, friendship means breaking of trust. So the moment when we become the kind of person who believes, yes, that might have been my experience in the past, but that does not ensure that that will be my experience in the future, or that friendships are safe and I can hold them well, or that I am that person who will be holding or who already holds people close to them and loves them, and therefore I am worthy of being the kind of container that holds a lot of friendships inside. So that's how we attract things, that's how we manifest things.